Now, here's a short story that once again proves the saying, once a cheater, always a cheater. And if you catch your girlfriend or wife cheating, you need to end it and move on. Otherwise, they'll do it again, regardless if you're married. And in this story here, the father and husband, he gives her a second chance because he doesn't want to break up the family, and shocker, happens again. But now he's done. And wait till you see the unlikely source that helps him bust her. Titled, Gave her a second shot, blew up my face, once a cheater, blah, blah, blah. And a shout out to Alex for sending in this story. He says, so, we've been together for 20 years, 16 of them married, we have an 18-year-old son, amazing kid. We were heavily infatuated those first 2 years, and we got engaged. We couldn't spend 1 second apart, until she got pregnant. She hated being pregnant and ended up hating me for it. We talked about a procedure, and she made the decision to go alone and go forward in keeping our son. Well, I'm glad they did. Notice he said that she hated him for her being pregnant. It takes two to tango, honey. I love my boy the moment I first saw the ultrasound. The first kick of her stomach when he was born, I couldn't put him down. She, on the other hand, hated being a mom. Her mom died soon after, and she went through the worst postpartum depression ever. My mom is a labor and delivery nurse, and she said what my wife was going through and acting like was borderline insanity. Okay. It's nice he has a woman on his side defending, because a lot of times the moms will defend the wife for him. No, you don't know what she's going through. His mom is a nurse and deals with this. Like, no, she's freaking crazy. Well, we got through it, ended up getting married soon afterwards. He says, stupid. In my mind, I wanted a family and to live a happy life. Well, she was acting that freaking psycho during the pregnancy and after the pregnancy. Happy life? There ain't no happy life. Well, then 6 months later, I get a call from one of her friends. My wife was at the beach holding hands with another guy. I call her furious and even messaged this dude on Facebook, and she denied it, and I wanted to believe her. Her friend busted her. This is something. Soon we moved 900 miles away from my career, and 10 plus years later, I looked for my archived Facebook messages. I saw the message I wrote him, and I went and asked her about it. What really happened? About 30 days of conversations led to her admitting an affair with him. He should have ended it with her. He shouldn't have married her after seeing how psycho she was with the baby and the postpartum stuff. He certainly should have ended it with her and divorced her after catching her, and now we have this. Everybody in my life told me to give her grace. She was young, lost her mom, and we had such a great life and a child in high school who was doing amazing. Well, they're not married to her. Well, I forgave her for my son, for the family that I worked so hard for. Smack! Dude, cut your losses. It's not worth it, and she'll do it again. You just communicated to her that, hey, you can treat me like dog crap, blame everything on me, and cheat on me multiple times, and no matter what, there's no consequences. That's like a little kid. If a little kid misbehaves and does something they're not supposed to do, and you shake your finger at them, but there's no consequences, they're going to do it again. Again, I forgave her for my son, blah, blah, blah. Then last week, 3 years almost to the date of when I found out about the first one through Facebook, I noticed a change. She became distant and snippy with me, acting like she did back then. We share a Google Drive account, and when on there, I saw snips of pictures that say, ever since you came in my life, I can't stop smiling and other things. There you go. I think he's mixing up a little bit of the timeline here, and that doesn't necessarily mean he's making this up, but I think he's probably writing this emotional. But regardless, guess what? She's back to her old ways, and he caught her. Well, I questioned her. She gave me her phone and told me to look at it, that she had nothing to hide. When people say they got nothing to hide, they got something to hide. Well, I opened her Teams chat for work. She freaked out. I saw she was messaging a guy, but all the messages were deleted, except for his last one. Then I opened her email, checked the deleted files, and there were all his messages on their work email. Work Teams. He would say things like, I love you too, and things like that. That's really gotta hurt. You know, I mean, probably this guy lost almost all love for her once he found out her cheating before. Stayed in it for the kid, but still. She then flipped out and said, yeah, we're done. And I asked her, so what? You're going to go F him now? And she said, probably. I guess she's still blaming him for her getting pregnant and all that. What an a-hole. Now listen to this part. Well, my son heard the entire thing. I thought he was sleeping. He was home from college on spring break. I called my mom, who lives 900 miles away, and she on the spot said to come back home. Okay, obviously the son's 18 years old. First. Notice the timeline here. The son's 18. This is obviously his first year away at school. The house is empty, and now obviously she's monkey branching, finding somebody else now that the kid's out of the house. My son then asked to come home as he didn't want to stay with her. As we left, she couldn't even say a word to him. My son, being the smart kid that he is, last night sends me a text. He had texted his mom asking her why she would cheat on dad. And who was this guy? The name. She gave my son all the information and admitted to everything. He then screenshotted for me and sent it to me. Damn, good kid. Said I may want that for my lawyer. There you go. We can see who the son's allegiance is to. But you know what? To be fair, if let's just say the mom was a good mom and the dad was cheating on her, and come on, there are some good moms out there, some good wives out there, and the dad was cheating on her, I would hope the son would, the dad too. Keep things fair. For 3 years, I sat there and hated myself for not leaving. Always telling myself that doing the right thing was the hardest thing. But no more. I'm not fighting for her because she never fought for me. Right. So many guys will fight for women, they don't fight for them. Anyone who has caught their wife cheating, guys, it may seem hard to leave what you built and know, but don't do what I did. 3 years I sat there wanting to get past it. She did me a favor because I'm free. He also says, for the record, I have a virtual lawyer meeting Tuesday. I'm moving in with my parents since my job is remote, and until the house sells, North Carolina is our location, so we may need to separate for 1 year. Well, thank God they're over and done with, and thank God the son overheard that, and he got the mom to admit that information via text. What an idiot. And now she's toast, and good for him, and he can start over. Except he has a son now, so there's certainly no need to get married ever again, for heaven's sake. But once a cheater, always a cheater. And again, the timeline is a little screwy. I'm a little puzzled by some things, but the point is she cheated before. It sounds like he, got the evidence way later on in time. The son was a lot older, and now here you go, this going on. But regardless, it's time for her to go. And I guarantee you, she's having a work fling. And a lot of these guys that have work flings with a female coworker, they like the fact that they're usually married. It's fun for them. These guys are scumbags. And the second the woman gets divorced, says, I'm getting divorced, it stops being fun for the lover, and he's like, see ya. And she comes crawling back. I have a funny feeling this guy will probably write in a few months saying she wants a second chance. Not happening. Now, a few comments before I wrap this up. One guy says, your women don't cheat for variety. They cheat because they no longer love their current partner and are out looking for a new life partner to build a life with. Don't waste your time on a woman who does not love you. Another one, and this is longer but important. This guy says, I know some folks say that you can't always use that phrase, but I don't buy that. Caught my ex a few years back, gave her the boot. I come to find out that she did the same thing to her previous fiancé before me, so it validated my decision to exit hard and fast. I'm pretty sure the same will likely happen to her, old man Ball's affair partner in the near future. These people are broken, and it's not your job to try and fix them. Yeah, exactly. And one more. Guy says, you can get a separation agreement signed by all parties, and that will put in place and spell out everything to be decided in the divorce to circumvent the 1 year of hell waiting period. Be careful if you move out of North Carolina, because not all states recognize separation agreements. You don't want her to get equity in a potential new house before it's finalized, even if her name is not on the title. Almost had that happen to me when I moved to Florida during the 1 year waiting period. Well, I don't think this guy telling the story is going to go out and buy a new house anytime soon. I mean, that'd be crazy. Live rent-free back with mom and dad while you're figuring things out and all that. And then once you're divorced, then you can go buy a new freaking house. But, yeah, good point. Got mentioned there. But anyhow, guys, once a cheater, always a cheater.